Now, before we get started, I would really love if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you. All right, welcome back to The Last Rewind. And before we start the show off, please make sure to hit the like button and subscribe so you can make that algorithm give you more of the future episodes of me and Tremaine talking about classics such as the one we're about to talk about today, which is a hood classic, one of my favorites,
Mine
and his too. New Jack City. They keep on calling me. Keep calling me. Tell us, man, what is your thoughts about this movie when you first saw it as a kid? And I know you had to be a little kid when it came out because I was. Shouldn't have been watching it, but yeah.
Well, that's just it. I shouldn't have been watching this movie as a kid, definitely. But there are some movies that come on now to this day that I have to stop and pause and at least watch some of it. Maybe not finish it. But New Jack City is one of those movies. New Jack City is, to me, is the we had Scarface in the 80s. And when I came upon New Jack City, to me it was a black version of Scarface, a hood version of Scarface. You know, I mean, incredible actors. Wesley Snipes at this point in his career was in his bag. I believe, I don't know if White Man Can't Jump was before. I believe it was after New Jack City. But Wesley Snipes at this point was in his bag. The cast: Alan Payne, Wesley Snipes, Chris Rock, Mario Van Peebles, who directed the movie as well. Yes,
Jude Law from The Breakfast Club.
From the Breakfast Club to the crazy ass biker cop in New Jack, Ice-T. How can I forget Ice-T? It is so much I can break down about this movie. I'm sure throughout the course of this video we will, but to say that it's a classic doesn't do it justice. It's phenomenal, and I don't think it was with the intent to be as popular as it is now. But man, when I believe it has been remade into a play. Alan Payne was actually in the play.
He needs work. So, yeah.
Well, got a couple gigs he's doing with Tyler Perry.
That show still come on? House of Pain?
I don't know, but he was in it.
Jeez.
I don't know if it still comes on, but he was in it. But that obviously New Jack City was his crowning jewel as far as his career. And then the soundtrack. That was a New Jack Swing era. The music made it good too. Just overall, love the movie. I got a couple notes on it. One note particularly that kind of shocked me as far as the budget and what it grossed in the box office. It was
okay. Came out in 1991.
91. The budget for it was $8 million. It grossed 47.6 in the 90s. Good. 91.
Almost 6 times its budget. It made back.
And if you look at that movie, now that I looked up 8 million, where the hell did that 8 million go?
Oh, you mean split up amongst the people in the movie?
I guess the salaries, but I guess the soundtrack, perhaps the salaries. But overall, man, I can break down this movie to the T. I love it from the beginning to the end. I always thought there should have been a sequel, but now, no.
How would they do that, though? How would they continue it if it was a sequel?
that's a mystery that I've always wondered. I mean, if I had to guess,
Nino didn't die. It didn't hit
yeah,
any bleeding organs. It missed all his organs, his functional good organs.
no, I think Nino has to remain dead. But maybe Nino had a kid who took over
Nino Brown.
the business, or
The cash money.
yeah, something along those lines. But I overall love this movie. What are your thoughts on it?
As far as the movie, or they're making a sequel?
The movie.
Oh, the movie was great because it described basically what was inner cities that went through the crack epidemic. It showed the glamorous lifestyle of it. That's, and what I can appreciate about it. It showed the downfall that can come from it. It's the ruthlessness that can come from it because Wesley Snipes' character, him and Alan Payne, they were brothers. They would do anything for each other. They wanted to get out of poverty, and they would do anything to get out of poverty. But the selfishness that came with it, he was willing to kill his brother to remain on top. He at one point, you remember the scene, he was willing to put a child's life at stake, man, because he used a child as a bulletproof vest at one point.
At the wedding.
So he wouldn't get shot. So it makes you selfish. It makes you inhumane at some point. And at some point, your life expectancy is going to drop considerably trying to live this kind of lifestyle. I appreciate all that they showed in this. So, yeah. And had everything from, like I said, rags to riches, revenge with Ice-T getting revenge because it was his mother that got killed, right? Didn't Wesley Snipes kill his mother at some point as a childhood because he was trying to get into a gang, and he in order to get into it, he had to kill somebody, and it ended up being Ice-T's mother, if I remember correctly.
It was. Ice-T's mother was killed by Wesley Snipes. Kind of a full circle moment. They were standing on the roof, kind of when Ice-T was in the CMB, but he was undercover.
Yeah.
So he was trying to befriend Wesley Snipes at the time, try to make it seem like G Money is up to no good, which he really wasn't.
He really was, though. So, all because of that money, though. All of them, the rags, the riches, the money made everybody evil in the end. It made everybody betray everybody in the end, and that's what kind of happens when you live that lifestyle.
Yeah, even when he was in court, when Nino was in court, he was like, if I go down, everybody's going down. And he called out, was it Christopher Williams?
Yeah.
Hakeem
not to be mistaken with Al B. Sure.
Hakeem Akbar in the movie. Dreaming. Yeah. Don't wake me. Yeah, that. Love the song. Does
he have any other song?
Huh?
Does he have another song?
I don't know, but
really
I did
popular with him
in person.
Yeah.
I saw him. I'm not joking. I saw him perform. Mm-hmm. He did a backyard gig.
A backyard gig?
It was in San Antonio.
Was it a big backyard, maybe?
Huh?
Was it a big backyard gig, or was it?
I don't know whose house it was, but I went to a retirement ceremony for my my godmother in San Antonio, and part of the entertainment was him.
And I'm sure he did that song.
He sung that song. I was like, "Oh shit!" It's Christopher Williams, and he was a little raspy. He didn't quite have the pipes like he had in the '90s, but everyone got the message. But the music also, I think it's I'm not gonna say it gets overlooked, but it plays a huge contribution to the success of the movie. You know what I mean? You got Fab Five Freddy. You had the New Jack Swing, and then you remember the chick in the red bra.
That was the one that Nino stole from his brother.
The one that Nino stole from G Money.
Jealousy and envy, revenge.
This is if you look at this one scene in the movie, after Nino pretty much lays into his girl because I think I don't know what happened. She was like, "You told me you weren't gonna kill anyone anymore," or something like that.
I've seen you kill too many people, Nino.
Cancel that bitch. I'll buy it now.
But Nino was drinking some champagne, so he walks back out to the big screen where they're watching Scarface, and G Money is getting done by old girl. So while she's doing him, she's just eyeballing Nino. And this goes back to your point, man. Just it was jealousy as far as money, as far as who can remain on top and stay on top. G Money wanted to be the man, but the man was Nino.
Yeah.
And G Money couldn't handle that. You know, I don't think he could handle it to the point where, you know, I think he was okay with being second to Nino, but he didn't want to look like a chump.
Yeah.
He didn't want to look like a chump. Like he didn't have no contribution to their success. I really do think he was okay with being second to Nino, but Nino made him seem like you're second, but this is all me.
Yeah. Well, he had to make an example out of his brother too, so he wouldn't try to usurp his position in the future. So he had to make other people look weak, so they wouldn't try to challenge him for the top dog in the CMB.
Right.
You know, it hit harder because it's his blood. So he's like, blood don't mean nothing. Whoever's gonna make me keep me on top, that's who I'm gonna keep up here. But if I have to, everybody in CMB, I will kill my brother. I will kill my brother to remain on top. I will get a little girl killed, you know, to remain on top.
He killed his brother, had a little girl as a vest, and all the other people who was in CMB died, but not at the hands of Nino. It was Keisha, Rockabye Baby, played by
Vanessa Williams.
Vanessa Williams?
Yep.
Yes. And there was
the TV you know, I didn't even put that together until now. Well, no, I got it wrong. No, I am right. I'm trying to think. Vanessa, what movie was Vanessa Williams was in Soul Food, right?
She was in Soul Food, the television show.
No. The movie. The other Vanessa Williams.
Oh, right. The
light
Vanessa
one.
Williams, as far as the singer at one point in the model.
Beauty contest winner.
Movie.
Yeah, I just said I didn't put that together. That they both were Vanessa Williams in the movie and the TV show.
And they had linked to Soul Food.
Yeah.
That's a good point. I didn't either. But she was, and she had one of the coldest scenes in the movie too. You remember the scene when she gets out the Jeep in the all-white turtleneck?
Yeah.
And she just blows the Rastafarian brains out, and then damn Alan Payne's like, "That's how you kill a motherfucker in broad daylight." And he does this scary ass evil laugh.
Rockabye Baby. That part used to annoy me though. When she said that several times in the movie, but you know what it sounded. It sounded like it was dubbed the rest of the time. Like she said it one time and they just hit a play button. And she just said it again, "Rockabye Baby." I'm like, she's not even saying that right now.
Yeah, you're right. And I forget the man who played the Dudder Man. I forget his name.
Bill Nunn.
Thank you. Great actor in himself. He was in Do the Right Thing. I know that.
The big ass stereo.
He had
to put like 20 batteries in it.
Yeah, he did a good job. You know, again, there was Nino Brown's girlfriend. Help me out, Michelle. Michael Michelle.
She was Selena.
Man, I remember her mostly from The Sixth Man with Marlon Wayans.
I didn't even know that. That is her. Yeah,
that was her when she dated Marlon Wayans in The Sixth Man. Just cold scenes in the whole movie, man. Just classic.
Oh, you got to talk about the coldest scene with her.
What's that?
See, you got to talk about the coldest scene with her. What's the coldest scene? Let me see if you pick it.
When Nino was in the conference room and he gets the phone call from the Italians and she's like, "I've watched you murder too many people," you know, and then he throws her on the table, plays the champagne on me. He's like, "Cancel that bitch. I'll buy another one." That shit was tough, man. And then later in the movie, she's testifying against, not realizing you are an accomplice.
Yeah. But you know, she probably gonna get reduced time though, because they already probably knew.
Because like when you remember in the movie when Ice-T he wants to shoot Nino, which I guess he made
you got to get the phrase. You got to get that phrase.
I know you. I want to
this
shoot
phrase
you so
always
bad, my
took me
dick's
out.
hard. There it is. So
What was it?
You so bad, my dick's hard. This motherfucker's putting the gun at Nino, and I'm thinking this: you're a cop, Ice-T. All the shit he would have been within his rights to shoot Nino and kill him at that point.
Yeah.
But I guess
Murder charges.
Yeah.
He's a cop.
But his girlfriend at the time is like, "I'll testify," and it kind of went over my head. Then I'm like, I know you realize you are an accomplice. You knew everything he was doing.
Mm-hmm. Knew everything he was doing. And was part of a lot of the schemes he was doing too. But you're right. You're absolutely right. Because it's not like she was brought in and say, "Hey, we know what you were doing. So if you don't testify, we're gonna give you 20 years or whatever." So you're absolutely right. She just act like, "Oh, I'm not with him anymore, so I'm gonna get off scot-free." So nah, you're gonna get a piece of this.
No, and if you recall in earlier in the movie, Nino said, "All right, you hooked me up because your father helped me with the banks or something." Like her father helped Nino to some degree establish the CMB. I'm like, you realize you can not be with him now, but you were an accomplice.
Right.
You're gonna go down too. And the motherfucker said, if I go down, everybody's going down. And called out was Akeem Akbar, called him out in the courtroom. But and you know what came from New Jack City years later? It's comedy.
Martin?
Oh, not just Martin, but yes, if you think of Martin, if you think of the comedy that came from New Jack City, Martin, that scene is hilarious. But to me, New Jack City is much like, Chris Rock was in it, although I don't think Chris Rock was intended to be funny.
Yeah. I said there was no comedy on purpose from Chris Rock.
but over the years, it's much like The Color Purple, meaning there's no intentions of comedy in this movie, but there's comedic moments and there's spoofs throughout the years from this movie that lives on. That is just hilarious and funny, I went to the movies to see that movie. I'll never forget it. I went to the movies to see New Jack City. I was with my cousin, and I think he snuck me in.
You know what? I just thought about something too. And this is how you know times have changed. Maybe it's the same way. So that came out in 91. So I had to be either 9 or 10 or something like that. And I had no idea about that movie. I was in Philly when I saw this movie. And I was with my stepbrother's family. And they, I didn't know what I was going to see because I was probably going to see something like, I don't know, Aladdin or something, age appropriate. So I'm like,
hey, was Aladdin out in 91?
I don't know, maybe somewhere around that time. But I'm like, how in the world? It's a rated R movie, so but I wouldn't think maybe kids could get in there. Maybe I don't know. Can kids get in movies now, even if it is a rated R movie with a parent? Does it matter? I don't know what matters.
With a parent, I believe. I'm not sure what the rating of any of the Bad Boys are, but I know I'm watching my children.
Rated R.
Huh?
Rated R.
Okay.
Easy.
Then yes. Then the answer to your question is yes, because I know I have taken my children to see the Bad Boys before the one that's out now.
Okay. All right. So I guess it was no different back then, but okay. Well, what I was trying to say was I shouldn't have been seeing this movie at my age. I had no idea. I remember the scene to your point where you were bringing up the girl that was with G Money. Was with G Money, ended up with Nino Brown. and that part where they were playing "Sex You Up" and she was dancing, in the dark. I think there was a screen in the background playing something in the background. She was kind of stripping or whatever, pushing it all in G Money's face, like, you ain't got it, but your brother do. And I remember, I don't know what family member was there, but I was sitting there beside them. But they all of a sudden like put their hands across my eyes, so I couldn't see anything. So I didn't even see the scene until like maybe a year or two later, until the movie came out on VHS.
Right.
Yeah, I just knew I shouldn't have been seeing that scene. I shouldn't have seen none of that movie.
I'm
sure I've seen worse than that though. So before that, so
if you say you were 9 or 10, I was younger than that, and I know I shouldn't have been watching that movie. But overall, I love that movie. I mean, it's just they're classic. New Jack City is a cult classic. I like when it first comes on and when it starts, it's captivating because damn Wesley Snipes is hanging a white man over the bridge, and then he's like threatening. Well, he's threatening to. And if you haven't seen New Jack City now, I'm spoiling it for you. If you just out of touch. Oh. But he's threatening to let go of the man, and he does, and it draws you in from there. And then you got soundtrack with what was it? The OJs. You know, the OJs do things, bad things, and for the love of money. And just man, the movie itself, I can watch on repeat over and over. Honorable mention in that movie, the man Bill Cobbs.
Oh, the old guy. Oh. Yeah, him and Morgan Freeman. Never seen him young. I don't think they've ever been young before. He always been old in every movie he's been.
So I have seen pictures of Morgan Freeman younger.
Younger.
No.
Less old.
Less old. Like,
yes.
You know, Lean on Me, he was old. Lean on Me is...
He just didn't have facial hair, that's all.
Lean on Me is really old. But
yeah.
Like, really old. But Bill Cobbs, he says, you remember the scene? You remember the scene when he walks in and Nino got cocaine all over the goddamn table, but he's giving money to the kids, and Bill Cobbs walk in and is like, these kids, you got all these people around you like you God Almighty. And Wesley Snipes goes, what can you give them? Look what we at. Not a pot to piss in or a window to throw out of. What can you give them? Another I have a dream speech. The banter between them two in that scene is so good. It's underrated. The acting between those two in that scene. It was so good. It was so good. And then obviously at the end, when Bill Cobbs takes that small ass gun, he's trying to go upstairs and he says, your soul belongs in hell. And he shoots Nino, and then when Nino falls over the railing, I always thought he landed awkward. Like he landed and there was like a puddle of blood pointing to his head. I don't know. It was really an awkward ending. Not an awkward ending, but an awkward landing.
You think there was a parallel to that in Scarface though? You know, when Al Pacino, when he got shot with a shotgun from behind the back, he fell over the railing and he fell in the pool at the end of Scarface.
Now that you say it, yes, I do. I never thought about it until you just said it, but it's obvious there's some Scarface in New Jack City. I mean, just the
world is mine. The cocaine,
cocaine. The Tony Montana came from Cuba from nothing. Obviously, Nino Brown is in New York. He came from nothing, and they made something, albeit illegal, but they made something out of nothing.
Well, let me see. Let me remember something. I might be misremembering. How did Al Pacino's Scarface? How did his sister die? Did he kill his sister in Scarface? Because she was trying to shoot him at one point because he killed Manolo. How she died?
Scar-
Other
uh,
people shot her, right?
Al Pacino did not kill his sister.
Okay. Other people were
I
trying to
remember
kill
when he got
Scarface.
shot. He was
Okay.
distraught. He was mad. He was
Okay.
He was.
I remember
pissed
she
off.
shot him. She shot Scarface, but she didn't kill him. But
I think he was like secretly in love with his sister.
it seemed like that because she was like, "Why you don't want me to fuck him? You want to fuck me, Tony?" She said
It
something
was like-
like that.
It was a little like are you trying to get what it seemed
Yeah.
like that? But there
Now,
was
I was trying to make a parallel because I thought I misremembered. I thought he had shot her at one point, like Nino Brown had shot G Money. But okay, I was off on that.
No, in the movie New Jack City, if you really think about it, Nino didn't do cocaine. He sold it. G Money did cocaine.
Yeah.
Nino just drank a lot, and I can only remember Nino really. Oh, never mind. I was about to say I only remember him killing G Money, which is not true. He killed that police. He slit that police officer's neck.
Yep.
I remember that, and and he let go of the white man at the beginning. But he let go of the white man in the beginning of the bridge. So I guess that guy died. So I was about to say Nino only killed G Money, but that's not the case.
At that point where he was at in his career, he just had other people do the killing for him.
True. Well, because you remember at the wedding when the Italians was coming to bust up the party. I think Nino just hid behind. Well, he grabbed the little girl first, and then he just ducked behind like a little bin, and he just hung out there while Keisha was her name in the movie. Vanessa Williams, she got shot at the wedding. But at that point, like you said, he was more so the man behind, trying to be the man behind the scenes. So he didn't get his hands dirty, but man, that's why Ice-T was recruited as well. Another great scene was the basketball scene.
Oh yeah.
These motherfuckers are playing 21 or 1-on-1 in damn church pants and gators.
Like you got. I know you got some basketball shorts somewhere. I know you can afford some.
I mean, you got to remember, Alan Payne was in the beginning. He was in a sweatsuit and a Kango. So I'm like, come on, I know you play ball. You can go get you some tennis shoes and go play some ball.
Yeah. They were waiting to get a twisted ankle, in no time.
But
I always thought that was funny too. It's like, y'all, you really don't have enough time to go switch out some shorts, steal somebody's pants if you got to. Y'all been shooting people for less. Go steal somebody's shorts.
All this money you done made off cocaine and the Carter and the crack addicts. You can't go buy you some shorts or get some shorts and gators and slacks, and I'm pretty sure you had a gun on you too while you're playing.
Right, which it could easily throw somebody's jump shot off. Have you leaning to the right just a little bit.
Yeah. But oh my god, I love that movie, man. Like there's other movies. There's other movies for the subscribers that we want to touch on as far as hood classics. Definitely wanted to get this one because it's one I think is one of both of our favorites. But this one, New Jack City, man. Oh man, I can go on and on. It's just one of those.
Did we hit on
feel good movies, but it's one of those movies like if you put this movie on at a party,
yeah,
it's a conversation starter.
Yeah,
if you put this movie on at like an adult party, people and there's music playing, people are gonna like turn the music down. We want to watch this movie because it takes you back in time. You know, where were you when this movie came out? You know,
yeah. It was a reflection of what was happening in America at that time in a lot of inner cities.
Right.
What I would say also about this movie too, we've had so many movies with Italians. We've had, like I said, we talk about Scarface, which I know that's not Italian, but we've had other races who had movies of their own that showed that type of lifestyle. From, like I said, Scarface and Casino,
Godfather,
definitely, and
as far as I can remember, if you remember when you pointed out, what was the first movie like that where there was a drug kingpin that was black?
Ooh, that's a very interesting point. And if you guys know, comment in the section, because I can only think of what the beginning of it will be New Jack City. I'm sure there may have been something before New Jack City, but
it created a whole nother genre.
Yeah,
for the 90s.
Yeah,
which is what we're talking about. The hood classic, I guess you could say. Or maybe not a hood classic, maybe the gangster hood classic, I guess you want to say, because there was hood classics probably before that. You know, Coolie High, something like that.
I would definitely say hood. I would definitely say, in my opinion, I think New Jack City did create a genre of movies. As like we're speaking on as far as hood classics, gangster movies. You know, it's like I can't think of any. Again, if you can, please in the comment section correct me and enlighten me. But I can't think of any. You know, which is why I give a lot of credit to New Jack City. I give a lot of credit to Mario Van Peebles, who directed it and wrote it.
Director, as well as his dad. His dad's also a great director.
Yeah, you know, just everything about the movie is so good. A up and coming Chris Rock, whom, you know, wasn't supposed to be funny, but somehow Chris Rock made that scene, made Pookie funny, but he wasn't supposed to be funny. You weren't supposed to be watching the Pookie character for comic relief. You won't. But you got to admit, when he was tied up and he was getting burnt to death, he was like, "Scotty, help me! I'm gonna die." That shit was funny as hell.
Well, I mean, who do you think was better as the crackhead, Pookie or Gator from Jungle Fever?
I'm gonna say Pookie.
I'm gonna say Gator. Gator seemed like a classic crackhead to me. I know a lot of Gators around here.
I feel like where I'm from in Fayetteville, North Carolina.
Yeah, I see some Gators in there too.
I feel like I saw more of Pookie's because, like, Pookie was a. You know how, like, you think you're clean and you want to do right, but as soon as you get around it again, you just go back to doing wrong. I saw that a lot where I'm from. Like, hey, I'm clean, I'm good, and then you fall short of being clean, and that's what Pookie was. You know, he got off drugs. Well, at least it looked like Ice-T got him in rehab. And he got off drugs, but as soon as he went to go work at the Carter, you know, he was back on crack. And I saw a lot of that where I'm from.
That sounds like my diet, you know. Try to get away from certain foods, and then you go to a family reunion or you go out to eat with certain people, and they get you around that same food, and you're like, man, it's calling me. Oh, that food is calling. That cheesecake is calling me.
A classic line that lives rent free in people's head to this day, and it comes from New Jack City. It's calling me. It's calling. That is. I'm surprised Chris Rock didn't patent that. I know, but that's a classic line that lives rent free in people's head. New Jack City, you know, just so much came from that movie that I as a grown adult now, when I watch it, I look at it with a different lens, because now I can see that I can relate to people I saw when I was growing up that was in their shoes to a degree. Like I knew plenty Pookies. I came across plenty Pookies where I was growing up at. I knew some wannabe Ninos.
Wannabe Ninos.
I knew some wannabe Ninos, and I knew some G Moneys. So, you know, that's why.
We both know G Money. Come on, Javal, man. Come on. It's G Money, man.
He ain't to that extent.
I know.
He just got the nickname G. But he ain't to that. In fact, one time in all the times I've watched New Jack City, I remember watching it with him, and it also, like, this goes like who you watch it with helps too. It makes it funny. And I remember watching it with Javon one time, and God, just made it funnier So it's one of those movies, man, that just it's gonna live rent free. I got it somewhere in my house, like when DVDs was a thing.
Yeah.
But who needs a damn DVD anymore? Like I don't even.
VHS, man. We're coming back. Yeah, I got a VCR in this room right now.
I'm looking. No, I thought I was. I was about to say I'm looking at a DVD player, but I'm not. I took it down because you can stream anything now at this point. But I tell you, man, New Jack City, classic scenes, classic music, fashion. How can I?
Oh yeah, you got definitely good. Yeah,
How
the
can I
fashion.
leave that out? The fashion.
Yeah.
In New Jack City. In the 90s, man, I remember when they was on their come up and Wesley Snipes was getting tailored for a white suit. And it was like in a montage when they were just on their come up. And Wesley Snipes was getting tailored for a white suit. I was like, God damn, that suit's nice, man.
Would you wear that today?
Also.
Would you wear that today? That white suit? Like today.
With it tailored, yes. I remember it. If I tailor it, yes.
All right.
I would. With it tailored, I would. It was nice because he had like a black turtleneck on with it. It was just a white suit. And to answer your question, if I tailor it, I would wear it today. Yeah.
All right. What do you think about Judd Nelson? I don't know if we touched on him. Judd Nelson's performance, from the Breakfast Club.
Unexpectedly good.
He's almost like he was extension of the Breakfast Club. Cause, he was like an ass in that movie role. And it's like he just grew up and became the dude in New Jack City.
He looked like that's a very good point. It's almost as if Mario Van Peebles was like, I want you to be the Breakfast Club character, but as a cop.
All right, that's simple for me. I've done this before.
You know what was funny though? When you remember when him and Ice-T was cleaning up their image because they was trying to infiltrate the CMB.
Yeah.
So they put on suits and shit. It was funny to see him in a suit and trying to be gangster, but he wasn't. It was funny to see that. It was funny to see him. I remember he put on this light blue Carolina blue suit, and they met up with G Money because they were trying to infiltrate the CMB. So it was funny to see him try to be gangster. But excuse me, I thought his performance was great. I thought his performance was good as well. I mean, look at the trajectory of where this movie has probably taken people, the actors in it. Wesley Snipes, obviously, we know he went on to do bigger and better things. A little bit of a break, but still a good actor.
Yeah.
Jude Law, I remember Jude Law. He was in
Judd Nelson.
Judd Nelson. I'm sorry, I said Jude Law. Judd Nelson. My mistake. I know he's been in some other things because he's a good actor himself. Bill Cobbs.
Not a lot. Yeah, he didn't. I would have thought his career would have been pretty big after that. I mean,
wasn't he in
I'm looking at his movie list. He hasn't been in a lot like you would think.
Since New Jack City. Wasn't he in
I'm looking at the list, and the only recognizable movie I see is Airheads, if you remember that.
Vaguely.
Says he was in Jay and Silent Bob. I don't see many. Yeah, most of these movies I don't really know that he's been in. He hasn't had a very extended career after the 90s.
Well, I guess
as far as known movies.
I guess to the extent like Wesley Snipes' heyday was in the 90s, but he kind of trying to make it a comeback. Vanessa Williams. I know Soul Food came after that, so
she's been in quite a few things.
Yeah.
Vanessa Williams, not Christopher Williams. Oh yeah, I forgot you. I forgot Keith Sweat. He was in the movie too.
Keith Sweat was in the movie.
On the soundtrack, I'm sure as well. But yeah, he was in the movie.
He sung at the wedding.
That's right. Yeah, that's where he was.
He sung at the wedding.
Vanessa Williams has done a lot of like family movies, as far as I can remember. Wholesome movies.
Okay. And Alan Payne, you know, Jason's lyric.
Oh man, well, we're gonna definitely talk about that on another show. I got so much to say about that.
That's another one. Yeah, we got to start this. We're gonna start a series of hood classics, and this is the start of it. But Alan Payne, was Alan Payne in? Okay, never mind. I know Jason lyrics, but after Jason lyric, other than them Tyler Perry shows, it's like Alan Payne resurfaced. Who else was in it?
He was in Vampire in Brooklyn, in CB4.
Alan Payne was in Vampire in Brooklyn. He was a cop. Yes.
Perfect Storm. Yeah, vaguely remember that in that scene, but nah, he hasn't had a. He was on Cosby Show, but that was before. New Jack City, though.
That was before New Jack City, but yeah, he was.
Maybe he was on the Fresh Prince, and he had a role in the Fresh Prince as the basketball player with the son. He was a basketball player. He said, "I'm gonna use this to get me out of the hood, to get me out of school and have a better life."
I do remember that episode. I often think about that episode. This is way off topic, but I often think about that episode when Will's dad comes back, and Will's like, "I don't need him," and he's like, "I learned how to play basketball. I got pretty damn good too, Uncle Phil." And I'm like, "Nah, Alan Payne whooped your ass." Because he won the game. I guess Will let him win, but he won.
That's it. Yeah, that's true. I forgot all about that. Yeah, Alan Payne proved him wrong, and well, we don't know. We don't really know what happened to Alan Payne like that. Maybe he broke his ankle and didn't make it to the league. You know.
Yeah. He also said, I remember he was like, "I learned how to drive too, Uncle Phil," and I thought, no, he backed into Malcolm Jamal Warner's car.
Yeah. I had to bail. You had to get you out of a jam. I had to be your lawyer, get you out of a jam.
Well, Malcolm Jamal Warner was dating Hillary. Like, damn.
Now I understand why he don't want me. Shoot, I can't get nothing right.
Like, I guess I do need him.
Even though I'm grown now at this point.
And came back in Bel Air, which I still haven't finished.
I haven't finished it yet, neither the second season on that.
But again, man, New Jack City, classic cinema. Classic cinema. One of my favorites. One of my absolute favorites. If I turn my television on right now in New Jack City's on, I will watch it and quote it. And I know every line. It's like I said, you can start a trivia game. There are certain movies that are so classic. You can start a trivia game with these movies. And every movie that I'm sure we're probably going to discuss, you can do that with. You know, like.
I think we should do that. I think we should have trivia during the actual next show. We should have some trivia questions and have people answer it while we do the show.
That would be an awesome idea. Because there's so many trivia questions you can create from New Jack City and all the other movies that we're going to discuss. Like what was Pookie stealing? What was Pookie stealing? What did he try to steal from Nino Brown and take back and give that his girlfriend at the time? It was a turkey. Well, he tried to take the turkey. So you can do things like that, And again, I touched on it already, but the music helped, the fashion, the acting, great actors. Again, I think the best display of acting, and one of the best displays of acting was the scene with Wesley Snipes and Bill Cobbs. Overall, classic cinema, and for it to have made $47 million with a budget of $8 million,
Very
shows
good.
how good that movie is, especially in the 90s.
Right. Okay. We're gonna wrap it up on that then. Okay. We just talked about the hood classic, New Jack City. Probably my dog's probably barking in the background, but we're gonna wrap it up on that one, and we're gonna make sure you guys comment in the section below and tell us what you think about reviewing this movie, and also make sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And me and Tremaine will see you on the next episode where we're gonna see which one we're gonna talk about next. I hope Jason's lyric. I hope Tremaine picks Jason's lyric, because I got a lot to say about that movie. Actually, I got some things have changed my mind. That movie came out almost 30 years later. That I used to think about that movie, that my mind is now changed about it. And I think would be very interesting. And I think that I have you laughing about it if I tell you what I think about that movie now, Tremaine.
That's gonna be the next one. Jason Lyrics is a good one. It has the, should I say, lovely Jada Pinkett? I don't know. She's in it.
Bokeem Woodbine. A lot of people don't know his name, but I remember his name by heart ever since that movie came out. But I got a lot to say about Bokeem Woodbine too. A lot to say.
Off-brand Dave Chappelle. Can't wait.
Evil Dave Chappelle. Okay. All right. We're gonna wrap it up there. We appreciate you guys for joining us on the Lash Rewind, and we will see you on the next episode, guys. Y'all have a good day. Peace.
Peace.